As a professional speaker, giving a TEDx talk is the holy grail of speaking. As an expert in management and leadership, TEDx is the top place to share your experience and to become a TEDx speaker. So I applied to a TEDx. I wrote a speech, I sent a sample video of me speaking, I went to an interview, and I was accepted. Oh my goodness, it was the best thing ever. And yet, sometimes you get what you want and you find out that it is not at all what you thought it would be. And sometimes you have to have the faith and courage in your ideas worth sharing, that they're worth sharing in a way you can be really proud of. But I'm getting ahead of myself. During the pandemic, I was accepted to give a TEDx talk. I was thrilled. The team, admittedly green, gave us the rundown on an introduction call. They said that because of the pandemic, we would need to sit on stage instead of stand. I don't understand why either. They said their vision is that it would look like a masterclass. Shot from the waist up, tight framing. This is TEDx, not a masterclass. Doesn't matter. They assured us it would be great, and they sent us pictures to share what it would look like. They told us it would look like this. I am confident enough to give a TEDx talk, but I'm not imagining I'm gonna look like Helen Mirren, but fine. We're giving a TEDx talk sitting. We speak one at a time to an empty theater because of the pandemic. I totally get it. I'm flexible. On the day of my talk, I walked toward the stage. The TEDx letters are spray painted red plyboard. Great. But the organization letters are poster board, held up by what looked like cylindrical brown cardboard. And the letters were crooked. And they were white letters on a white background. Okay. So the staff tell me where to stand. They set up the cameras, turn them on. Then they run back to row O and yell across the theater, "Action!" I then take my mask off, walked out, sat down, and gave my speech. Now, I noticed the cameras for the additional angles were really at tough angles, like nearly 90-degree angles. I asked and said, "Wow, those cameras look like they're getting profiles." Well, yes, they said, if we put them closer, then the jump would be too jarring. Okay, I'm flexible. They filmed my talk several times, and then I went home proud of myself. I am a TEDx speaker. A few days later, I got a call from another speaker. She told me that she asked to look at the footage and that it was not a tight shot waist up at all. It was shot from far away, head to toe. And the additional angles, they were profiles. And they were crooked. And you could see the backstage. I talked to the videographer who explained a wide shot was needed so you could see all the letters. I spoke with the director of the TEDx local group and asked her about the masterclass vision and the from the waist up. She said that something was lost in translation, her words, and that the videographer went rogue, my words. She said she wanted masterclass, but what we got was a kind of across the street from a very colorful bus stop. And the side shot highlighted my hairline, my bald spot, my ear, backstage. She said she should have checked the footage before all of them were shot. But it turns out 3 people's footage was lost and 1 person already withdrew. I probably should tell you what my speech was about. My speech is when leaders make mistakes. In my speech, I explained that when leaders make mistakes out of good intentions, we should seek external peace to make the situation right and internal peace, acceptance. So I was struggling with both my recommendations and the really heavy irony of the situation. We discussed possibilities of reshooting in the theater. No. Doing it over by Zoom. No. Me refilming it on my own at my own expense. No. They told me there wasn't really much they could do. I felt for them. I really did. They were trying to do something really big in a very difficult time. We've all had those situations where we're trying so hard to make it work and it just doesn't end up like we wanted. It didn't look good. It looked amateur. But they did try. I know I'm not good at hiding my feelings, but I look like I'm giving a speech at gunpoint. I wasn't having a good time. Clearly, I knew even as it was happening that something was really wrong. I reviewed my footage and decided, sadly, to pull the videos. My TEDx speech didn't go out with the rest of the group or with their TEDx branding. And it occurred to me, 2 really important ideas worth sharing. 1, we all have our own expectations we strive to live up to. This production didn't meet my expectations, and it didn't even meet their expectations. Some ideas worth sharing are important enough to be shared in a way that is professional, impressive, and which meet or exceed all of our expectations. 2, no matter how big TEDx is, as the holy grail of professional speaking, no matter what an honor it is to speak with them, and I am deeply, deeply appreciative of the opportunity and thankful for being accepted, sometimes you have to say no. This isn't what I want. This isn't what we talked about. This isn't right for me. As a professional speaker, a consultant, and an author, I need to own my own narrative. I followed up on my advice that I gave in my speech on when leaders make mistakes. I found external peace by re-recording my TEDx speech. And I found inner peace as well by learning from this experience and giving you more ideas worth sharing. I'm Jennifer Wisdom, and I'm proud to be a TEDx speaker.